Guess what? Last month I was invited as a guest speaker in University of Ohio. That sounds huge, right? To be honest, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just from a Zoom call, and basically they have a social media class. That's interesting. I don't have that when I went to college back then. I wish I have though. Anyways, I think that was a great experience. I actually shared a lot of tips and tricks and my strategy when it comes to going viral. Some of the students reached out after my talk and they say that they learn a lot from it. That's why I think it's going to benefit you as well if your goal is to grow an Instagram page or try to understand social media a little bit. So enjoy the video. Make sure you watch the whole thing because I share a lot of nuggets, and enjoy. Honestly, I'm a bit kind of jealous because back in the day when I was in school, in college, learning a lot about theories and stuff like that, but barely have anyone like actually in the field coming to school and talking about what you want to learn. So this is pretty awesome. And I think the way I want to do this is pretty much I'll just share with you a couple of things that I know in social media. And then I'd like you guys to give me some questions and answer. That's usually what I found the most effective way. And my goal was just to give you guys as much values as possible in this class. A little bit about me is that probably the reason why Miss Sonali reached out to me is because I started an Instagram page like around 6 months ago, and I ran it from literally from 0 to 145,000 followers in less than 6 months. My biggest thing is that in today's date, especially in your guys' time, if you not active on social media, I think you're missing out. And I really mean it. Like you left some money on the table as well. Because I'm from Vietnam originally, but social media is the only place where you actually, if I'm a good cook in Vietnam, right? Even I'm working in like a small restaurant, there's a chance that someone, maybe even a billionaire in America or in Dubai or whatever country they're from, but they can see this content. That guy working in that small restaurant can have a chance to maybe become a personal chef or someone more influencer. So I think social media is very important to whatever you're doing. It's gonna multiply a lot of choices and chances for your future. Musician is very subjective in a way, like you have to be somewhat good, and the problem with that is that yes, you could get better and better every single day, and then at one point maybe you're really amazing at your skill, but then with social media there's even open up for the second opportunity, which is your little bit of your personal life in your social media, right? So even when you are not in the place where you actually famous or do all that thing, you could be in the place where you can connect people in the personal level. That maybe a producer also like pizza, for example, right? Or and you love pizza, then you guys would connect, and then more opportunity will reach out because that producer or that whoever and the position that you want to reach out, they like your content and they would want to talk. Maybe they just send out a comment about your cooking skill, and that would create a new connection in today's date. When we talk about the technical part, then I would like to go a little bit deeper. So I grew my Instagram page in pretty much 5 months, and a lot of things that I've learned. But one of the biggest thing in any social media platform, it's that you want to do some research, right? So it's not about always come up with the new ideas, always come up with the new hooks, always come up with the original content. You should try to come up with new stuff, but a lot of time is like try to hit something with no target because you don't know what works and what doesn't work, and every platform is different. So the best way to do that is, let's say if you're into music, and you go to Instagram, you look into explore page, the real page, and then you search music content, right? And then you would pick out a couple creators that is doing good, and then you want to look at their content, right? Most of the content has 5 to 6 thousand views, but then there's a couple pieces of content that got like 100,000 views or maybe 1 million views. Then what I would do is I would save that content into an Instagram collection. Every time before I create a content, I would look at that Instagram collection and go through all this content that, and outliers. So the content that do better in your niche, in your industry. And then I would like look at their hook and maybe even copy the hook in a certain sense. Don't copy the content, but you can use the same hook. You can do your own advice, or you can use your own twist into the content, right? So that's something that I would do. Okay, let's just go to this is a prime example of why, even if you're a musician, you should share some of your personal content, because I think some of it's pretty interesting. For example, this one that I got little 80 million views, 79.2 million views, but it's just literally like when it comes to content creating, I'm trying to find content that's relatable, right? A lot of people have this problem of editing reel. So I'll just do like me editing a reel till 3 a.m. only to get 69 views. And it's pretty relatable with most people when they start doing content. Try to think as far as what value can you bring to your viewers, right? Instead of just put the content that complaining about, today is a long day or whatever. Think about what value can you bring to your viewer. A lot of time, there's three things that I will always tell people is number one, your content has to be educational. So this one has 800,000 views, and it's very educational because we show people how what makes the content from 1.4 thousand to 66 million views, and basically I just wrote down why, what make it different, right? And that's very good educational content. So educational is one thing. Number two is relatable. It's one of the latest posts we did. It's kind of funny right here. That's me editing 6 hours, and then you got one like. The last thing is encourage people to do something or like some action. A revolt action would be some good content. So one of the things that I usually like to do, I don't know if you guys are familiar with ManyChat. One of the things that we encourage people to comment, like give an action, because when people comment, it also boosts a little bit of engagement and algorithm. So ManyChat, it has a thing where it's like an automation, but if you can ask people to comment a certain word, then there's an automation where like I give them even extra value by saying, hey, comment viral, I'll send you I don't remember, I send you a strategy for mastering Instagram of your personal brand, right? So then people will comment viral, and then ManyChat will create like a automation and send people directly message and give them even additional value on top of that. Like they could go into the YouTube long form, or you can send them into a PDF, an email newsletter. This is a little bit of advanced, because this is just for you to build relationship with your audience in the next level. So ManyChat is definitely one of the big things I use to create action. So again, three values you always want to bring to your audience. Number one, educational. It's easy. If you're a musician, there's plenty of things you can teach people who just start wanting to learn anything, right? Any instrument. Number two, relatable, like point of view of you first starting learn piano. What's the pain point that you can share? The point of view that you like, a lot of pain that a lot of people can relate to, or you celebrate something, or you finally learn this hard score or this hard musician piece, right? So share some point of view, relatable content. And then the last thing is it's encourage action, right? Any content that encourage action or inspire people to do something, it's always good. So remember these three values. Every time before I post, I try to ask myself these questions, and as long as it builds some value to someone, I think it's always good to post. And I think every day all of us have something to share. The problem is, maybe we don't actively sharing them, or maybe we are maybe nervous, right? Maybe we worry about other people's judgment, and I think that's actually hinder a lot of opportunity for you to share who you are and then get connected with a lot more people. Go raise your hand if you're active on social media. Cool.
Analytics and like the algorithm of Instagram play a part in your fast following growth?
100%. It's actually one of the biggest thing. Actually, this is going to be very valuable for you. Let me try to see if I can share my analytics. Yeah, it doesn't show as much insight as when I look at my phone, But my biggest thing is that you want to look, usually on the inside, they have a graph where they show you, you want to make sure your content, right now, Instagram really push the shares. If save and share pretty good, I would be pretty confident that your content will grow. That's why I'm keep saying about relatable content is super important. If that post got a lot of save and share, most likely the views will go a lot into non-followers, right? If the views is only going to your followers, that means either your content doesn't have enough save or share, or maybe your account is right now is not in the perfect spot. So that's one of the things that I always want to look at, is that my content should show for more non-followers than followers, because the end of the day, that's the goal, is to grow and to reach more people, or as many people as possible. On the phone you can see better with the graph and all this stuff.
Do you look at the demographic? Can you see that on your phone?
Yeah.
Look at the inside.
Yeah, on your phone. That's a good one as well. Yeah, if you go on your phone, you should see your analytic as well, as far as like what time you should post, what time your audience is most active, and then look at your demographic. Is it mostly from America? Is it mostly from Asia, Europe? So it gives you some kind of indication. What time to post is actually a very good question. So it's been changing, because algorithm keep changing all the time. But when I first started, what time to post is very important. And then later on in the middle part, when I grow this Instagram journey, it's not matter anymore. But now I think it matter a little bit more for me, for my account, and I can't talk to anyone. But for my account, I realized if I post before 11 a.m. EST, it tends to get a lot more interaction right away, and that would help to push your account a little bit faster. Now it still go through the cycle, and the next morning people still pick it up, but if you want to get a great push, then you want to find the right time to post, and it might be different with different accounts. So you might have to test it first. And another thing for me is like very important thing is to do is post quite consistently, and that's actually one of the hardest thing, because a lot of people when I talk to, like, they want to grow the Instagram page, but they're not willing to try to post once a day. And I know that you're busy, doing a lot of things, and it's quite a bit of work. But if you try to be serious on Instagram, try to post once a day, and you don't have to spend time every day. You could just spend time one day and make 7 pieces of content, and then just schedule them out.
Another question. So for collaboration, do you reach out to the brands, or like, of course, the brands are reaching out to you?
Yeah.
How does the collaboration work?
That's a very good question. I mean, personally, I don't reach out to brands, but I do understand how you want to grow and how you want to make money off Instagram. A lot of people recommend reaching out to brand and then have your brand kit ready and all that stuff. And I think that's a good advice if your goal is to make money off Instagram. I make a lot of my money not just directly from Instagram, but so when brands come to me, the fun thing about that is that I could test it, right? Like every time now when brands come to me, I ask for a bigger number and see where it goes. So at first I was like asking brands for like like what, $150 for a post or something, and then they say yes, but then I don't like the brand that much, and then I'm like okay, but I know where I'm at, and then we start now, try 2,500 or whatever for a post and see where we're at. But that's just my strategy. I don't rely on brand. My only problem with brand sometimes is that they have a power of somewhat change where you want to go on your content. So but I saw plenty of people so successful on reaching out to brands and make a lot of money. So it just depends on your strategy on that.
This is my last question before we end this.
Yeah.
There's a new feature on Instagram where you can have your own subscription based, right? They can join your channel right near the bio, right? Does that help in having loyal audience, or like how often do you have to be active on that platform? Does that help in having the loyal customers?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps to have a loyal audience. Obviously, they want you to have loyal audience, right? They start rolling out subscription broadcast stuff. Personally, I also recommend to send your audience, if you have a number of loyal audience, to more than just one platform. So maybe send them to YouTube, send them to a newsletter. One of the kind of a hack to create a lot of content in a short amount of time is you can have your phone set up somewhere, just shot a lot of b-rolls of you working right in front of the computer, or you playing piano, or you playing instrument, and then later on you just spend a day and use all of that b-roll, either do the voiceover from the microphone, or you can just have a caption, like whatever relatable content you can think of, just add that caption on there, and then that will allow you to create 7 pieces of content in 7 days pretty easily.
I think the class is about to end, so
Cool.
we'll have to.
Can everyone do this real quick for my little picture? That's cool. And you have to give a heads up to Miss Sonali, because she reached out on Instagram as well, and looking for this. But very happy to be here and hope you learned one thing or two.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. No worries. Thanks. Thank you, guys.